changing the Earth's temperature, and a new tax called cap and trade. So what are the facts? Fact: the federal government says cap and trade will slow the economy and cost American jobs. Fact: the Treasury Department says it could cost as much as $200 billion. Fact: cap and trade will mean higher electric bills. The fact is, America can't afford the cap and trade tax. Tell Senator Reid to vote no.
Well, ClimateGate right now crashing down and now claiming its first victims in the United Kingdom. A top scientist caught up in the scandal stepping down, while in Australia, key global warming legislation just voted down unexpectedly. Is cap and trade then next? Pat Michael says we're already seeing an impact. He is the climate scientist mentioned in some of those hacked emails. I believe they wanted to beat the crap out of you was the line.
Something like that.
What do you make of this?
Anger management
pretty,
issues.
Yeah, man, oh man. What was going on?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Phil Jones has stepped aside as director of the Climate Research Unit as University of East Anglia conducts an investigation. And Penn State has also announced it's investigating Michael Mann. Hey, I hate to tell you, these institutions are up to their eyeballs in global warming money. If you don't think there's going to be a whitewash here, you're a little naive. Are they going to say, oh, excuse me, we misused 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars in federal funds? I don't think so.
So in other words, let me understand that what you were noticing is that if any contradictory data or evidence came up to say, well, man is contributing to the global warming or global warming itself, what would they say? What would they do? Would they shelve it, bury it, hide it, lie about it? What?
They tried to make sure it never saw the light of day. And in my case, it was really bizarre because I was publishing papers that said, yes, human beings are having an influence on the climate. They're causing some warming, but just not that much, and it doesn't look like the end of the world. Apparently, if you didn't go out on these extreme scenarios, they attempted to blackball you. We are seeing the results, though, of ClimateGate beginning to show up. That Australian vote was very, very telling. And I think the Australians are going to have an election, which is going to be basically a referendum on climate change.
All right, now, a lot of folks interpreted the Australian thing as kind of about China. They do a lot of business with China. They depend on China's success. China not exactly playing clean on clean air. So there might have been other motivations there. But having said that, do you think that the revelation of these emails and some of this hypocrisy means the president shouldn't go to Copenhagen next week?
Oh, he has to go to Copenhagen. I mean, if all this stuff were known beforehand, you know, Copenhagen should have been just shut down, and we would wait until the next meeting in Mexico City, which is going to take place beginning on November 8th.
Well, you're apparently right, because he's going to go anyway, and the White House has already said that this is a non-event and making much ado about nothing. What do you make of that?
But now he says he's going to go there with a politically binding commitment, whatever that means, to reduce U.S. emissions by 83% by the year 2050. The Senate is needless to say, a little bit up in arms. Senator Webb sent a letter to the president reminding him that this is the prerogative of the Senate, and he just can't come out and say, we're going to do this. It's really causing bad blood here in Washington, because I'm sure the people in the Senate feel like they're now going to be forced to vote on cap and trade in an election year, and the issue is going to get shoved down the road to the next election, because the next big meeting on climate change takes place 6 days after our November election. It's going to be unavoidable.
This reminds me, though, the Earth is flat deal, and then someone has to sort of knock on the emperor's shoulder and says, you know, we don't think it's flat. It's apparently round, but no one is doing that.
Well, I think these things are having their effect. I mean, I've been compiling through them, and a lot of people have, and it's really quite remarkable. The thin-skinnedness and the resistance to any type of criticism that is displayed in these emails. Yeah, this is all going to come out. It's not going to go away. When the Senate is forced to vote on cap and trade, which it's going to be, all this stuff is going to come out again. It's going to be public discussion, you know, through the next election cycle. Big, big, big news. The major media better start looking at this. You know, ClimateGate now gets 20 million hits on Google. If you Google in global warming, you only get 10 million. ClimateGate's a new word.
That's very interesting.
20 million hits on a new word.
And not a bad return for your getting a little threatening there and threatened. Pat, very good to have you.
See you again.
Good having you.